Hello and welcome to another practical edition of your favorite property show. Today, we continue with our conversation on women shattering the glass ceiling in the real estate sector. We feature women who are a living embodiment of the diverse roles a woman holds: mother, wife, mentor, and a leader in the society. These women are navigating their way in different sectors in the real estate market, from corporate law, landscaping, project development, and many, many more, scaling the heights and leaving their mark in this society.
Crystal Rivers is really a key highlight for us. We're very proud of the project, and it has begun our property journey.
Some of the things that I've been able to do over time and the clients that I've been able to help over time are like Tattoo City.
Top up and win 50 cars in 50 days with Telkom.
Engage with us on our social media platforms. Remember, we are a telephone call away for any inquiries you may have. We have received great reviews from you, our viewers. Thank you for your feedback and keep them coming. As always, there is something for everyone. Last week, we started a conversation on women shattering the glass ceiling. Today, we pick up from where we left and meet with Wangeshi, the woman behind the unique gated community where style, nature, and community living all converge. The story continues.
Located only 25 kilometers from Nairobi CBD on the Mombasa Dual Carriageway and only a 10-minute drive away from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Crystal Rivers is the ideal living space for you and your family.
Karibu sana on the show, and thank you for having us back here in your offices.
Thank you, Nancy. It's a pleasure to be back.
And who is Wangeshi?
Well, if I was to answer that question, on a personal level, I happen to have a family that I love dearly. Married to a husband who I've known 20 years of my life. And we have 2 children, 2 boys. And I would say that's my anchor, that's my foundation. So at a personal level, family really matters and is very central to the essence of who Wangeshi really is. Within the context of my profession, and why I'm here is because I am a trustee of the Safaricom Staff Pension Scheme. And my role is dual in the sense that I sit on the board as a trustee, but I'm also in charge of the investment committee. I chair the investment committee, and within the investment committee we have a project advisory board that looks into specific projects that we are running. If I was to give you just one, which is top of mind, obviously, is Crystal Rivers. This is a major project for the scheme. It is close to 5 billion worth of an investment. It is a mixed development of a mall and residential houses. And we really want to anchor this project as a very strategic investment within the, call it Athi River area, the Machakos County area, and also create a lot of economic vibrance within Machakos. And as we go more county and more devolution, we as an organization and entity are interested in investing in counties that offer strategic value, and Machakos has been very progressive in that sense. So that's a major project for us, and I'm happy to report that Crystal Rivers is actually now, this year of 2018, in the final stages of completion. We are looking to finish our mall and have it up and running at least by the beginning of Q3 of this year, and the residential houses largely will get finished by the end of 2018 in December. So that has been a major project for us. It's been running for 2 years, and I've been in charge of that. Then obviously, as chair of the investment committee, you think of the future. what's on the horizon, what are the opportunities that we need to be exploring. So it's a continuous process. So that keeps me highly engaged and very interested in what I do at the scheme, and I enjoy it a lot.
And how do you source for your finances?
So as a scheme, we are actually regulated by the Retirement Benefits Act. And what happens is that currently, all a member or a staff member of Safaricom, more specifically, makes a contribution monthly for their pension contribution, and this contribution is also matched by Safaricom Limited, who is the employer. So our financing is off the back of the pension contribution that comes from the staff of Safaricom. Yeah.
When it comes to sales and the letting, how has that been, and have you managed to hit your set targets?
So indeed, when we look at the letting of the mall, which we wanted to finish first, despite the challenges of last year, and as you can know, last year was an election year, we've created a lot of buzz around this particular project. And I'm proud to say the first milestone in terms of the letting percentage was exceeded. And this was aggressive, targeted marketing and engagement one-on-one with the key anchors that we were targeting for the mall. So we are fairly happy with the progress and confident that we will continue to fill up the mall.
What is your career highlight, and what inspired you to take this route?
All right, so in the context of the scheme, I would say I'm very proud that we as a scheme have embraced a property strategy. If I give you the history of the Safaricom pension scheme, we were largely into, traditional asset classes, call it your shares, call it your bonds, and we'd been investing in those for a long time. So when we decided to make forays into property, it was obviously a decision that was passed by all the members of the board, but the work, what I call the legwork, was done by myself and a few others jointly with some of our service providers to start looking for the first project. So if I was to look at the highlight, I would really say Crystal Rivers is really a key highlight for us. We're very proud of the project, and it has begun our property journey. It has been intense, rightfully, but it has been a good highlight in that we feel it will be a project we'll complete and be very proud that we began.
Having said that, how do you balance your life?
Good question. So I've learned importantly as I do work and as I take on more responsibility that it is very important to work effectively through teams and to have a clear sense of whose role and responsibilities are assigned to who. Because in the absence of that, you could end up micromanaging, fatiguing yourself unnecessarily, and then it becomes very disorganized. And also it tires the members. So clear roles and responsibilities are extremely important. Once the mandate is defined, allowing the team to run with their roles. So in many places that I find myself, increasingly you are providing leadership direction over a certain project. You are not necessarily the person implementing the project. So understanding the value you bring as the person leading the initiative is very, very important, so that then you add value. And what I find is important to your question on harmony is to create a sense of clarity, avoid too much rework, and spend time at the beginning correctly defining the outcome. So I love working through teams. I've learned increasingly, because the projects I will handle will be large, that an effective team, a motivated team, a team that is clear on where they are going will deliver better value and make your job as the leader much easier.
What advice would you give a young girl watching you and they are saying, I want to be Wangeshi when I grow up?
I would say in life, don't fear a challenge. The truth is, when I took on this project, I was passionate about the vision of having that mixed development coming to conclusion or fruition. But I didn't know what it would entail. Sometimes you don't have it all figured out, but people can see it when you have drive, when you have discipline, when you have commitment, when you're determined to see something through. So sometimes you actually can offer yourself, or you can be picked out. Don't say no. So by nature, I am a risk taker. I would say politely, a calculated risk taker, but I do enjoy doing new things. And sometimes at the beginning, those things don't look like they have a clear reward, or don't look like they might add value, or look like there are additional responsibilities in addition to my core role. But I always find eventually the benefit you get from the exposure, the experience, the learnings that you get are so immense. The credibility you build, because each one of us is a brand in our own selves, is also so credible. It really almost provides a boost for your career going forward. So I'd encourage other ladies, those coming and interested in these kind of responsibilities, to take risks, but to demonstrate that they can deliver, because ultimately you have to bring the results to the table.
What's next for the investment committee?
So the investment committee is tasked to ensure that they have a pipeline of investment opportunities lined up, and we do have additional opportunities. We are actually looking to partner, especially in the private equity space. That's a class of investment that we can now go into. We will still be interested in property. We'll be looking for partnerships that allow us to scale and leverage and get into bigger developments that have a clear entry and exit strategy for us. But we want to do more. So it's an exciting future ahead, and we are very proud that the journey has begun. So we are busy.
So you're telling us, watch this space.
Definitely, watch this space.
Crystal Rivers Mall ushers you into a world of unsurpassed retail variety and quality. With 3 levels of premium shopping experience, the mall is home to more than 100 local and international stores. The bustling mall is the heart of the unique Crystal Rivers experience and set to be the destination to be and be seen at. The mall has been designed with security in mind and offers 3 secured entrances onto the main retail level, with parking for over 700 vehicles on the lower ground level and upper ground parking deck. Get ready to shop, dine, work, and play. Integral parts of the Crystal Rivers experience is realizing your home ownership dream right at the edge of the city. Here you choose between 3 and 4 bedroom townhouses or the well-designed 3-bedroom apartments. Crystal Rivers give you the luxury of living close to all amenities in a far from ordinary location. Accommodation for 3 and 4 bedroom townhouses includes private garden, spacious lounge area, kitchen opens to the dining area, all bedrooms are ensuite with walk-in shower, working spaces, DSQ accessible from outside, and master ensuite with 2 wardrobes and bathtub. Salient features include stone wall topped with electric and razor wire, CCTV cameras, common gate, carport for 2 cars, independent access to the mall, swimming pool, gym, jogging track, backup generator for common areas, solar water heating, well-manicured gardens, biodigester, and riverfront views.
Crystal Rivers is a delightful project. It's the place where you can live, work, and play, all in one.
Estanjiru Omulele is the head of commercial and property department at MMC Africa Law, in addition to being the deputy managing partner in the firm. Her areas of expertise include property law, real estate, banking, and finance.
Thank you so much for having us yet again in your offices, and once again we are together on the show. Today we are talking about women who are shattering the glass ceiling when it comes to the real estate sector. Break it down for us. What has Esther been able to achieve?
Let me start by saying that what gives me the motivation to do what I do is my family. First and foremost, I'm a mother. I have 3 children. And these children give me the motivation to wake up every day and want to be the very best. I'm always telling them that for you to get to the top, then you have to give it your all and to give it your best. Secondly, I have a husband who supports me a great deal. He trained as a lawyer and eventually ended up as a politician. But one thing I like about him, or one thing I really appreciate about my husband, is the fact that he's always pushing me and telling me, you've got to do it and you can do it. So that's my greatest motivation in making sure I do what I do right.
As the deputy managing partner at MMC, such a big company, and you're a woman and you're achieving, and I know you deal every day with real estate and other aspects of the legal matters. What is your role? Break it down for us.
As the deputy managing partner of MMC Africa Law, I play a dual role. So firstly, I deal with the administration side of things. I'm in charge of human resource and the administration. So in that role, my everyday work involves just ensuring that our people, because people, we consider people to be our most important resource, are well taken care of, that the environment in which they work is conducive and works for them. I mean, if you look around this space, I'm sure you will agree that there's not very many offices that have this sort of ambience. So just making sure that we have the right space for our people to work. Also making sure that then we attract the right people, the people who are capable of providing the service that we look to provide. We pride ourselves as a law firm that provides quality service, and also a law firm that takes care of its clients. We are concerned about how you feel about our business. We are concerned about the fact that at the end of the day, are we delivering on what it is that you expect from us? So if you come and give me a brief, have I understood it? Am I executing it in the manner that you would like me to? Am I executing it within the time that you expect me to execute the brief? And at the end of the day, am I delivering on what you have asked me to deliver? So we want to have a people that have the right talent and the right attitude and the right motivation to give that service. So as head of HR, then I take care of that. The second thing that I do for MMC Africa Law is the fact that I head the transactional side of the commercial and property department. Now, the Commercial and Property Department comprises of various areas of practice. We have the corporate commercial law area, we have the property and real estate, we have the intellectual property law, then we have the banking and finance. So my everyday work is to ensure that all those areas of practice are fully resourced and that they're giving the service that they need to be giving to their client. On a transactional level, I then specialize on matters real estate. Now, on matters real estate, my role is to meet with clients, understand their brief, and close on the brief and ensure that the work is then executed seamlessly within the firm. Now, some of the things that I've been able to do over time and the clients that I've been able to help over time are like Tattoo City. Tattoo City is a large mixed-use development. I think the first of its kind in this country.
This region, actually.
Yeah, in the region. It sits on 2,500 acres. And what I would say I have contributed towards that project is that we have worked with Tattoo since the point when they acquired the property. At the point of acquisition, we dealt with the land use matters to convert the use from agricultural to a mixed use development. The current use is a mix of industrial, residential, commercial, retail, and schools. Yeah. So my role and the role of my team has been to help them in the structuring of that development, so that then we create a city that works, a city that has the various uses working together seamlessly and has the various uses just adding value to each other. Now, the second one would be Tilisi. Tilisi is another mixed-use development. This one is situated at the junction of Wayakiwe and Tigoni. It sits on 400 acres. Tilisi, we have been with them for some time now, about I think 5 years it's been. We handled the structuring of the city, and now we are at a stage where we are beginning to offload the various parcels to sub-developers. Again, it comprises of a mix of uses. We have light industrial, we have residential, we have commercial, and we should have a bit of retail as well. So the list is long. Those are just The first two that came to mind, there is a project on Mombasa Road called Green Park. There's one that is coming up in Muthaiga also that is going to be quite interesting. It's on 100 acres. There's lots of them in places like Lenana Road, is that Kilimani, Kileleshwa, Nancy, the list continues. I've had challenges, of course, and those that are career related, a lot of times have to do with maybe some department not providing the service in the manner that we expect it to be provided. So fortunately, I have a very strong team of partners, and we work very well together. We collaborate. We use our different strengths and networks to ensure that whatever challenges come our way at the time when we're providing the service, then are resolved. At the end of the day, we always find a solution.
What advice would you give a young girl or somebody at home watching you today and saying, when I grow up, I want to be Esther?
I would say that young girl, believe in yourself. Anything and everything is possible if you put your heart to it. You have to identify, though, what works for you and what you're passionate about, because not everybody is cut out to do the same thing. So once you identify your passion and what you're good at, and then you go for it and dedicate your time to it, read about it, work on it, just increasingly improve your skills and set a bar that is where you want to go. Eventually, at the end of the day, you'll get there. Then just to remind her also that it doesn't come in a day. You've got to take it a step at a time. But if you continuously and without giving up, do the right things, then you'll get to the right place.
Refreshing, engaging with women who are making a difference in the real estate sector. We are taking a short break. Coming up, we take you to Garden World, the biggest garden center in Kenya, and continue with more motivating insights on women shattering the glass ceiling. Don't go away.
The Jumia House Excellence Awards recognizes and rewards enterprises that have contributed to national development across the real estate sector. This year, the Excellence Awards will take place on the 2nd of March at Pride Inn, Westlands from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Jumia House is partnering with the Ministry of ICT and the Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning. The categories that will be awarded include Best Developer 2017, Best New Development 2017, Best Mixed Use Development 2017, Top Commercial Development 2017, Best Real Estate Agency 2017, and Top Innovative Real Estate Brand 2017.
We interrupt normal programming to bring you breaking news. Hey you! Yes you! Yes you!
Top up and win 50 cars in 50 days with Telkom.
The
more you top up,
the more your entries are,
and the more chances you have of driving away with a brand new Toyota Belta.
Start topping up now. Join Telkom today for your chance to win in the Top Up and Win.
Mom,
hey gari yangu
50 cars in 50 days promotion. See press and posters for details.
Excuse me, nani atani scratch ya?
Telkom, moving with you.
Welcome back. You're watching The Property Show. Telkom is giving away 50 cars in 50 days. All you have to do is top up now. Unbelievable.
Since we launched our consumer-facing brand in June 2017 and adopted the name Telkom, the brand Telkom, we've seen tremendous growth over the last 7 months or so. This is buoyed by the fact that we invested quite a bit on this journey to create a brand that the consumer will resonate with, a brand that the consumer will be able to get value for their money. And we invested almost 5 billion shillings in our first phase of network transformation program. That allowed us to roll out not only our 4G, but it also enabled us to double our capacity on our 3G network. We also invested almost 600 million shillings, and I think these are things that have been addressed before in upgrading our backbone and transmission fiber. Remember, one of the brand values that we have is that we want our brand to be quality, to have quality, and be reliable, and give customers what they pay for. So these are some of the things that we've done since we launched the brand. We are looking forward, obviously, to even more sort of milestones in 2018. And we've also embarked on our second phase of investment. We'll be investing in rolling out additional densification and improvement of our network, focusing mainly on 3G and 4G, because as we stated as we launched the brand, we want to be a data-centric brand. That's not all. We also want to ensure that when a customer buys our SIM card or makes a connection to Telkom, they have the best in terms of customer experience. And also, we'll be investing significantly in ensuring that we continue to boost our customer experience through various initiatives. We will be upgrading our CRM platform to ensure that we are able to give customers singular and unique experience. We'll be rolling out additional Telkom shops to give customers an opportunity to reach us wherever they are. And also, we look forward to launch in a short while our mobile financial service platform. We are waiting for a CBK license. Hopefully, this will come very soon and will be ready to roll out that platform. We believe it will add value to our portfolio of our products. A quick sort of scorecard from us. Over the last few months, we've seen tremendous growth in our customer base. We are happy to note that even from the CA report that was published a month or so ago, we emerged as the fastest growing brand from a customer perspective, and we are now fast approaching 4 million customers, and we are very, very happy about the journey that we are taking. We want to celebrate all these milestones that we've seen since we launched the brand by announcing a new campaign for our customers as part of celebrating this 4 million customer mark, which we hope to be achieving very soon. And we are calling this celebration Formally 50. We are happy today to announce that we are giving out 1 car every day for the next 10 weeks to our customers. We just want to showcase some of these vehicles so that you'll be able to see what it is that our customers will be walking away. So if we can roll out the car, please.
Winning a car has never been this easy. Next, how do you transform your passion for plants and nature into a profession? Esther is a landscaper who has committed to turn your dream garden into a reality. Let's hear how. matters landscaping, let us journey with Esther into her deep passion and love for plants, coupled with a strong understanding of the value of hard work. Let's get more insights from her. Thank you so much for having us in your beautiful garden.
Welcome.
Asante. Who is Esther?
Esther is a wife, Esther is a mother, and Esther is a landscape contractor.
What inspired you to take this route?
What inspired me was the past experiences I had when I was a young girl. When I was a young girl, my parents bought a farm in Red Hill, and which had a lovely family garden. My mother was so keen on maintaining the garden to those standards, and she decided I was going to be the head gardener. So by default, I found myself weeding and taking care of the gardens, and through that I developed a deep passion and understanding of the plants that I was taking care of. When I went to university, I decided well there that I could set up a landscaping business and sell a few potted plants to people, and my journey into the landscape industry started that way, rather by default.
And how has that journey been?
That journey has been good. It has been good from the perspective that I do something that I'm very passionate about, and I have a deep knowledge of, because I had the practical understanding and knowledge of the plants, like I said, from the experience. And the journey has been long but very fulfilling. What is fulfilling about it is creating something out of nothing, or getting into people's dreams and hopes and wishes when they brief me on what kind of landscapes they want, and creating something beautiful out of almost nothing.
When the day starts, what do you do?
When the day starts, what I do is I get up, I tend to my baby. I have a little baby, 1 year old, and from there I go to the office and meet with the office team and go through the projects and the issues and all the requirements that a team needs my input on. Then from there I walk to the nursery and find out what the gardeners are doing and whether the propagation is going on well or not. And then I could drive to sites if there's time, and then come back in time to be with my baby and my family.
If I'm looking for your services, at what point do I engage you?
If you're looking for our services, at the point you engage us is at the point where you are building your house, where you've got the house plans ready, and you come with us with a site plan, and we then do what we call a site analysis and site visit. We come to your site, look at your site, you brief us on what landscape you would like to have, and we then look at the site requirements and the site aspects that will influence the landscape that we will create for you. In other words, you give us your dream, and we work and realize that dream with you in as far as landscaping is concerned.
So you start with me from the drawing level?
The drawing level and the brief that you will give to me of what kind of landscape you are looking for.
Give us some examples of some of the good jobs that you have done.
We've done a lot of good projects, residential projects. We were involved in the design and implementation of Kihingo Village. That's a gated community out in Kitisuru. And we were involved with Bosipa Gardens and Collingham Gardens, which are all residential gated communities. And we design and create landscapes which are friendly to the neighbors and the children and other utilities within those gated communities. So we also design commercial projects, and some of the commercial projects we've undertaken are malls like Garden City Mall, Two Rivers Mall, Westgate Mall, and currently Waterfront Mall, which we are implementing right.
Those young viewers who are watching you, what advice would you give them?
What I would advise them is not to look at gender when they are looking for a profession to do, and to realize that there is a lot of unleashed potential in each and every one of us. As long as you're passionate about what you're doing, passion is what really will drive it, and then work hard and have a very, very, very good level of understanding of what you're doing, and be persistent as well. You will succeed.
What's next for Esther?
Here we've managed to have a very, very good showcase of what plants we use in our projects, and we have very, very, very good quality of plants, from the succulents to the shrubs, all well laid out so that it's easy for clients to come and see and identify what they want. This has been actually a very, very big step in the business, because it means we are in control of what products we are using, what plants we are using on our projects. Quality is very, very key. and quantity as well, because for some of the projects one requires to have a huge amount of plants, so we propagate them and then we use them on our projects to ensure that we get a successful landscape. What's next? We would like to actually grow more mature trees and more mature plants, because the market nowadays wants a garden instantly. So we would like to have a lot of hedge plants ready, thousands of them. We would like to have a lot of mature trees for our clients, and we would also like to have a space where people can come and see different landscaped areas and then say, this is my garden, this is what I want to look at it. With that in mind, we then move the landscape to them.
Thank you so much, Esther. I see you've really grown. The last time we did a project together in Kuna, and it's a beautiful garden.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
And that's it from Garden World. For more landscaping tips, Esther is the girl for you. Next, our homeowner today is a multifaceted woman. She's a serial entrepreneur, an expert in business networking with vast experience in building and construction, as well as a motivational speaker. Let's hear her story.
Welcome to my home. I'm a mother of two and a grandmother of two. Yeah, we came to this place a couple of years ago, many years ago. We moved in 1993. But before we came here, we were, after graduating from the University of Nairobi, I graduated in 1985. And then I was housed by my cousin who used to live in Ridgeways Estate. I lived with him for a whole year. My husband at that time was working away from Nairobi. And we always used to say that one day we shall own a home. We didn't know how to do it, but it was just a dream. He was an architect, and he always used to think of how can we build our own home? Where can we even buy land? That time was, of course, land was also expensive, but not as today. And we went around looking for land in Embu, but we didn't want to settle in Embu. Our dream was to settle in Nairobi. But around Nairobi, land was very expensive. And then we saw an advert in the newspaper in 1987. And when we saw that advert, it was from Dekio Plantations. And that is when he told me to come to Roiro, Membli Estate, to come and see how the land looked like. So when I came, I was impressed. Okay, there were bushes all over. And then when I brought some of my friends, they were like, why should we go so far away from home? I mean, from Nairobi. And there were deers all over and wildlife. But when I came, I saw the terms of payment were very good. I gave my husband the report and told him that the land, I think, is okay, we can afford. That time, I was working with the Ministry of Finance, and I was working with the Ministry of Public Works, and we used to save money. And don't forget that I had saved some money because my cousin never used to allow me to buy anything. He was able to finance me and take care of me. So my money, which I saved, and he also saved some little money in the circle, was we were able now to buy or invest through Dekio Plantations. So we started getting deductions from our salaries. And then after that, we also now were able to buy one piece of land slowly, and it took a whole year. Then we stayed on, and we started now to build our home because he was an architect. He was able to get some private projects even when he was still working for the ministry. And the person, I remember when I left my cousin's home in 1986, I went to live in a coffee plantation, and it was far from Nairobi. That was in Kiambu. And some of my friends were even laughing at me. And my husband was also happy because we were only paying 800 shillings. When they realized I could not even top up my savings and stay there. But the road, of course, used to be very dusty. The house was very small because it was only one bedroom. But because we knew that one time we would move to a big house, and we always used to dream to live in a big house, I moved there and I stayed on. So from 1986 to 1993 when we moved here, I stayed there for a whole 8 years. My husband was still away. And the journey was very interesting because when I was there, the landlord used to really encourage us. He was a very rich man, and he used to encourage us to work hard as young people. He also used to really admire my husband, and he's the one who connected my late husband with his friends. So other than now his salary, he also got extra money now from the projects he was doing, that is doing plans for some of his friends. Then we also topped up with the money that I was earning. And I was also doing some small businesses. While I was in the office, I realized that the salary that I was earning was very little. And so I would go to Gikomba, buy some clothes, very good clothes, and I would clean them. After cleaning them, then I would use Bint El Sudan, and then I iron. And then I went to an Asian friend who showed me how to tack the shirts and sell them like new. So I would go to my colleagues, my seniors, and I would sell to them. I would buy a shirt like say for 5 shillings, and I sell it for 20 shillings. I made good money. So almost all my salary now went to savings, and I relied on the money from the sales of these shirts. And I continued like that. And then later on, I realized that, of course, that money was not enough. So I would do also other small businesses. There's a time I took a risk. I went to Dubai when we started having mobile phones, and I bought some phones, and I came and sold to a certain Asian, and I made some good money from that. So with all that money now, we were able now to continue building our home. The journey was quite interesting because building a home is not just like a walk in the park. I would say that we were lucky that my husband was an architect, so we never paid any architect to draw the plans for us. The other thing is that he was also interested in processing of timber. And because when they were still in class, they used to use timber a lot, he developed an interest in timber. So we also started a side business. That was way back in 1996. And that business was able actually to boost us. So I would say that in 1993 is when we moved now to this place. And there were very few people. In fact, I think we were only 3 homes. And so thugs would come, they would attack us, but we didn't leave. We actually stuck around, and we started building our house. We continued building slowly by slowly by slowly. So you can see we actually built our house within 8 years, but still we didn't complete. Then later on, my late husband Karinge decided to maybe buy other plots, of course, as stock, so that maybe one time we shall sell and do other developments. And that is what exactly we did. So we didn't complete our home. We left it just as long as now we could, of course, put our head under a roof. We decided to leave it incomplete.
This conversation continues next week, but as you have heard it, home ownership is no easy feat. Sarah's story confirms, with your priorities right, you'll get the home you desire. Next, the property gallery.
Arcade Cottages is a beautifully designed gated community of 8 villas located in the upmarket residential area of Lavington, Mudhangari Gardens on Mudhangari Road off James Gishuru Road. Accommodation features include spacious lounge, fireplace, separate dining area, spacious open American-style kitchen, pantry, 5-bedroom with 3 ensuite, beautifully designed family room, separate Dobby area, DSQ. Salient features include perimeter fence, CCTV surveillance, Cabro paved driveway, garden, ample parking and sufficient water. The development is a throwaway from Valley Arcade, Lavington Mall and Lavington Shopping Centre, where banking and shopping facilities are available. There is also easy access to schools like Riara, Makini, Braeside and Kilimani Primary School. Price on inquiry. Finn Heights Apartments. Located at Dogoreti off Kikuyu Road, this development comprises of 28 modern 2- and 3-bedroom apartment units. With their strategic location just 100 meters off Kikuyu Road, the apartments are easily accessible. There is also easy access to Nairobi CBD and Westlands using Naivasha Road and the airport using the Southern Bypass. Accommodation features include spacious lounge cum dining area, guest cloakroom, modern fitted kitchen with granite tops, adjoining pantry, separate Dobie area, master ensuite, 2- and 3-bedroom, built-in wardrobes. Salient features include perimeter wall, CCTV and electric fence, elevated splash pool, children play area, 2 high-speed elevators, plug-in TV and fiber connectivity, borehole, generator for power backup, and 1 parking per unit.
At First Avenue, you can identify new homes as well as rental properties as we help you find the perfect property to match your lifestyle and budgets. Thank you for watching The Property Show. Tune in next Sunday for a highlight of trends and investment options presented during the just concluded Upmarket Homes Expo. See you next Sunday. As always, there is something for everyone. Kwaheri.